People in Carleton Place are mobilizing to help Ukrainians who want to come to Canada. Their effort was motivated by a young couple who were also trying to bring family here, and it's grown into something more than they anticipated. Robin Miller explains.
At their home in Carleton Place, Mary Mokrushina and Zach Netherly have a lot to organize. These donations just a sample of the community's generosity.
That's a nice.
It's like almost overwhelming. We weren't expecting an eighth of what we got in terms of monetary donations, items, just support in the town itself.
It started with a call for help for Mokrushina's mother. She, like so many other Ukrainians, was forced to flee the country with her two younger children. Mokrushina said when she realized how much support there was for her family, she knew the town could help others as well.
I don't want the people who are leaving right now feel guilty. And if you want to come to Canada, we're going to do our best to try and help you.
Now she and Nethery are helping connect families from Ukraine with those offering up their homes in Carleton Place.
The goal, I guess, would be to bring as many people here as we can, bring them out of the crisis area, and then resettle them here.
Nethery says local doctors and lawyers have also donated their time for free once Ukrainians begin to arrive. A moment Mokrushina knows will be emotional for her family.
It's been so long, and I just hope that I can help them here, and everything I do is basically originally for them.
Hi Peter, I'm Robin.
For now, safe in Poland, her mother and siblings are awaiting visas so the family can reunite and meet the community that supported their journey.
Oh, it's the most emotional part because the people, you are incredible. You are absolutely awesome. What you are doing, it means a lot for me and for those who are standing right behind of me.
And all the support from the community isn't slowing down. On Friday, people plan to gather here at Market Square for a candlelight vigil to honor all Ukrainians. Robin Miller, CBC News. Carleton Place.
A Carleton Place woman whose mother, brother, and sister are still in Ukraine is inspiring others in the town to do what they can to help. Mary Mokrushina came to Canada from Ukraine in 2018. Now her and her partner, Zach Nethery, say they're helping other Ukrainian families connect with people in Carleton Place, people who are willing to take in refugees fleeing the Russian invasion and the violence. I've got Mary and Zach on the line right now. Thank you so much to both of you for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary, tell our listeners how this all began.
It all began with the war in Ukraine and my siblings being there, and we were just trying to find a way to get them out of there. And since I'm here in Canada and I'm living a pretty stable life here. And I just wanted to bring them here along with my mom, and Zach and his parents actually were they were ready to take them in as well and help them here. Yeah.
So Zach, what is the work that you're doing? Tell us about connecting with people in the community.
Right. So what we're doing is we're finding people in Ukraine who are looking to flee. And then finding people who are willing to open their doors in, Carleton Place and Lanark and the surrounding communities, and trying to fit them together like puzzle pieces to see size and family versus how they do things. And then we help assess, all their visa needs, all of the process that they have, and then we pay to stick them on a plane and bring them here.
Mary, there's so many people, unfortunately, that are trying to escape Ukraine right now. How do you make those connections?
At the moment, I'm just using my own reach on Instagram and Facebook, and then just friends of my friends repost my stories or my post, and then I just get messages from them.
It's heartbreaking, the circumstances that people are being faced with. Zach, I can't even imagine some of the stories you're hearing.
Yeah, they're honestly horrible, and it's heart-wrenching. I keep telling people that we keep getting all this praise about what we're doing, and congratulations, what you guys are doing is amazing work. But when you hear the stories that we hear and you talk to the people that we're talking to, you can't not have action. You're almost compelled by morality to help these people out of their situation.
Typically, Zach, where are you finding them in Ukraine? Are they in different cities? Are they in shelters? Where are they at the moment?
So, Mary can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of them are coming from Kiev and Cherkasy. I think those are the main places that they're coming from. And then we tell them to go west, and a lot of them either go all the way into Poland or they stop in Lviv to get all of their documents prepared.
And then, Mary, there are all of the logistics once you found people that are willing to help them out, and you're helping to guide them along the way on this journey. But there are so many steps in it.
Yeah, so at the moment I'm working on some kind of a guide that will help people to create their own account on IRCC website, and they can start their visa application with basically no intervention from my side. And this way, a lot of people will be able to just follow the steps and and just do it themselves. And of course, if there's any questions, they're always welcome to text me and call me. Yeah, and there is a huge support inside of Ukraine. If they're somewhere stranded in one of the cities, there's a lot of people that are helping them to get to the border. So that part is also basically covered.
What about the application process for the Ukrainian families that are trying to come to Canada? How difficult is that?
There are a lot of papers at the moment, and we're honestly waiting for the 17th of March, where there is a new stream introduced, two streams introduced to Ukrainian citizens, where they're going to drop apparently a lot of requirements, and as well it will be available online, fully online, and it's some kind of an electronic visa probably, but we don't know yet how it's going to happen. But at the moment, the visa application is very similar to how it always is. There is a package of papers that need to be done and prepared, so that's what we're working on.
That's right. As you mentioned, the Canadian government is making those changes. Do you think, Mary, that is going to have a great impact on the ability of families to get into Canada? Will it make a difference?
I think it will make a difference in terms of how easy it is to receive a visa, but the financial part is still very expensive because for some people, the minimum wage in Ukraine is around $230 a month. And the one ticket to Canada is like $1,500. It's crazy. A lot of people cannot afford that. That's why it will make a difference in terms of application, but getting here is very hard.
Zach, in your search to find families in Carleton Place, individuals who want to take in refugees, how has that been going?
It's been going well, especially considering we didn't actually set out to do this process, and it kind of just happened that way. We're getting a lot of people. In fact, we're getting people outside of Carleton Place. A lot of people look at us as a Carleton Place thing because we are from Carleton Place, but we've had people from different towns as close as Almont and as far as Renfrew and Arnprior reaching out and saying we can take people. Some people even saying I have multiple rental units and I'll put people in those rental units so they can be on their own. So we're getting a lot of support.
Wow, that's remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big thing, isn't it, too, Mary, having the resources, having the space for people to come and stay.
Yeah, we're actually pretty overwhelmed in a good way with the support because originally we were just going to host my family and that was it. And seeing all these people willing to help. And I think it happens that way because people are so far and they feel helpless. And that's why in this way, they can help directly the families and people who suffered from this horrible war.
So now that this has expanded, as you said, Zach, beyond Carleton Place, it's more people getting involved, more people that are volunteering their space and their time. Are you still looking for help?
Oh, of course. It's still Mary and I sifting through things in our living room and sitting on my computer when work hours are over and having like that. It's all just her and I sitting inside of our living room. So we're accepting any help in basically every avenue. We do have some people from those towns, community leaders who have stepped forward and said that they want to help us in any way that we can. So we're just waiting to see how they can provide that help. and whatever that is, we will then need to fill those gaps with whatever else we can.
Mary, for the people that are listening right now, is there anything that they can do in this moment to help you out?
Yeah, we are looking for people that are certified translators, people who can translate from Ukrainian and Russian to English. We are looking for anyone who can host people for sure, because it seems like after all the exposure that we're getting, there are going to be more people that will be willing to go to Canada. And I think Zach can add more because there's definitely a lot of gaps that we need to fill. Go ahead, Zach.
Because we don't know about the next streams that are coming out, I'm still a big advocate for having some sort of an immigration consultant company helping us to be able to do some of the legwork and data entry work, as again, it's just Mary and I sitting here until we pass out trying to get it done. So having somebody step in a big way like that as a pro bono, of course, would be amazing, as well as in a lot of the communities that are in the surrounding areas, again, Smiths Falls, Almont, Perth, people who are healthcare professionals and therapists, and these services that these Ukrainians are going to need when they get here, we need those service providers to offer free help to these people, because they're going to come here with no money and they're going to come here with no health card, but they're going to need help almost immediately, and we need the communities to step up and offer those services free of charge.
Yeah, it's a great point. The psychological wounds that a lot of these families are going to have after going through what they've been. Zach and Mary, I'll ask you, Zach, how can people get in touch if they want to offer any of that help that you just laid out?
So we have a Facebook group right now that we started when we kind of we made a post in our Living in Carleton Place Facebook page just asking for help, and kind of outgrew the responding to comments. So we made our own group. It's called Ukrainian Support Lanark County. Right now, we might end up having to change if we keep growing, but that's what it is right now. It has all of the forms. So we've created intake forms for both the Ukrainian people and the Canadian people looking to become one of the receivers or people coming in, that gets the least the basic information that we can get started on them, as well as, any of the other fundraisers that we're doing. We're partnered with CareBridge Community Support as the charity front that actually receives the money, so you can get charity receipts and things like that. So all of the information is on the Facebook page, as well as if you just find Mary or I on social media, we're monitoring everything and responding to everyone.
Zach and Mary, this is really wonderful that you're doing this. This is an incredible initiative. It's important work. We're lucky to have people like you in our neighborhoods. Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mary Makrushina and Zach Nethery, they've started this, and they've been doing it outside of work hours, as you just heard. They're trying to find families that can connect with Ukrainian families that are coming here. People who are willing to take in refugees, people who are willing to lend help in any way that they can, because we've got so many people that are fleeing Ukraine, that are trying to come to Canada, people right now that are in Poland, other neighboring countries, that are just trying to get out, escape the violence, get their children out of there.
Let's go to Leanne Cusack now for a powerful story and a movement in Carleton Place. Leanne.
Oh, thanks, Graham. And it all started with Mary Makrushina and her partner, Zach Nethery, desperately worried about Mary's mother and siblings in war-ravaged Ukraine. A sense of helplessness here turned into the most incredible outpouring of community support. Mary and Zach join us now. Good to see you there. You are at home in Carleton Place, and I understand you're actually sitting on some of the bins that are filled with donations.
Yep. So that's our furniture now.
Now, Mary, I have to say that I know that you haven't slept much. You haven't been able to eat, and I think the same applies to you, Zach. It has been quite a time. I know you've been so worried, and that's how this all started. Your mom and siblings are in Ukraine south of Kyiv, or were?
Yep. Yeah, they were in my hometown. My hometown was Cherkasy, which is about 180 kilometers from Kyiv. It was pretty calm until the 27th of February, and that's where the first bombs hit. And
So we now know your mom and your siblings, Petro and Alisa, and your mom Olga, they're safely in Warsaw, Poland.
Yeah, they arrived there on 3rd of March. So it was like a couple of days of travel from the hometown, especially considering there are a lot of like checkpoints, and yeah, it was pretty stressful to just live through those couple days.
And Mary, I didn't say your name properly. It's Malkrushina. I hope I have it there now. You have been in Canada since 2018. I know you came here to study fine arts, and you and Zach have been a couple, but boy, you have really kind of bolstered that relationship, and it's all really been fed by community. Zach, tell us how your mom has really sort of led this mission to get Mary's mom and family here, and how it's expanding to other Ukrainian families.
Yeah, so we were originally going to take them in and do all the expenses for ourselves and do everything we needed to do. And my mom thought, hey, maybe people could help. So she just made a post on Facebook asking, does anybody have any extra clothes that would fit them? Any, you know, money laying around that could help them with their expenses? And it just blew up. Her post blew up to the point where she called me and said, you know, there's so much here. I need you to jump in here and field some of these requests, because it's just, the outpouring is so supportive. So when we got to that point, we had more than we needed, and another family said, well, if you have more than you needed, if there's another family of Ukrainians that want to come, well, we can house those people, and that's sort of where it developed into sort of what we're doing today.
And we're going to tell our viewers how they can be involved, and something special that's happening tonight in Carleton Place as well. Zach, Carleton Place, you were born and raised there, but it wasn't until this situation and this war in Ukraine that you really realized, you say, what your community is all about.
Right. Yeah, no, I've been here, and maybe it's just I didn't need any sort of big support or anything like that, but I was pleasantly shocked at how quickly, efficiently, and, you know, caringly the community came together to help people that they don't even know from, might as well be on another planet. Ukraine, for a lot of people up until recently, was just that place in Europe, and now it's become this sort of symbol of unification and hope.
And Mary, you studied fine arts, and I know that you work in a flower shop, and you said to me when we were chatting that it's been very difficult for you to balance the bouquet of emotions. Explain that. You used the words bouquet of emotions because you're feeling so much.
Yeah, it's when it all started, it felt very surreal, because like they're just hitting the place where I was born, or places that I used to visit. And even Zach visited Ukraine with me, and we recognized the places that they were just destroying, and I felt like the sadness because of people that are suffering, right? And then I felt like extreme, like indescribable anger at just Russian government. How they can do that? How dare they? Really, it's a sovereign, independent country. How is that okay? Like it's, and then of course love for people that are my friends back in Ukraine, my family, and all of these emotions are just all together, and balance them was very hard. It was like always like anger would win, and I just, every time I hear some stories or I see pictures, I hear this real screaming of people. It was just horrible. It made me super angry.
Well, you channeled that anger in the most positive direction, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the work the two of you are doing with the help of the greater community. So many professionals have come forward and volunteered, so many individuals, and we will speak more to what you're doing there in Carleton Place and how the generosity has expanded throughout the Ottawa Valley to the other valley towns. We'll be back with more of Zach and Mary.
Let's head back to Leanne Cusack with more on the efforts to help Ukraine in the Ottawa Valley.
Thanks so much, Graham. Mary Malkrushina and Zach Nethery first asked for help to get family here from Ukraine. So overwhelmed were they of the generosity of the Ottawa Valley and their town of Carleton Place. They've expanded their volunteer efforts. Mary and Zach, you say you were personally motivated and then morally compelled, and others are saying the same. Where are you now with your fundraising efforts?
I think now we've raised enough that we've been kind of looking at it by person. So we've raised like enough for X amount of people, and I think we're at the point where we could probably afford 15-ish people to be able to do from the beginning of our system to the sort of the end of our system. We could probably get 15 people currently with our Or, you could say it as like whatever 5 families or however you want to look at it, but that's sort of where we're at now.
And of course, all of this is volunteer for you. As I said earlier, Mary, you work in a flower shop, and Zach, you're an IT professional. Other professionals have come forward. Give us an example of people who volunteered to help.
Oh, in Carleton Place, people have come forward. There's been lawyers, doctors, therapists, and people like that who are offering their time pro bono for free to those people. So we're making a list of all the people who are coming in through our sort of system. We're going to give those professionals, and if any of them need any health care, because they're not going to have a health card and they're not going to have money. So they need these support systems in place when they get here.
Mary, your mother and your siblings, they're just, I guess, waiting on the visa processing at this point?
Yes, they're in Warsaw, staying at my mom's Rotary friend. And just waiting for visa, and they're ready to go. We are ready to go. We just need that approval.
And we have a link on our website for anyone who's interested. CareBridge is the organization in Carleton Place that's handling all of the finances, and you say to just be specific about where you would like your donation to go. It can either go to someone who's already in the Carleton Place community, or someone who's going to be a new arrival, one of the Ukrainian refugee families. There's also a very special candlelight vigil, I understand, tonight, and that's pretty meaningful for you, Mary. What's happening? Where is it happening? I know it's at 7 p.m.
Yeah, so it actually was organized by someone else. We had nothing to do with that, and we really wanted to visit that and see some people who support Ukraine. And there's apparently going to be a group of people that are going to sing in Ukrainian, and some people have strong Ukrainian heritage. And I was looking forward to visit that place and that event. And and apparently now we're going to talk. So we're going to say something to people about what we're doing and our initiative, and probably see more support from people, because now we're looking for people who would also be able to speak Ukrainian and Russian and answer the questions of the Ukrainian people, because starting from 17th of March, there's going to be a new a stream for Ukrainians, a very an easier way to get the visa and arrive here. So we're expecting a huge influx. Yep.
And of course, translators will be needed. We're almost out of time, but Zach, I know you've been surprised by the support in Carleton Place. I'm never surprised by the generosity in the Ottawa Valley, but it's expanded throughout Lanark County, I understand. Almont, name some of the other communities where people have come forward saying, I have room, I have a home, I have an apartment, I can help a Ukrainian refugee family.
Yeah, we've also had people in Perth in the Lanark County, but we're actually getting people outside of Lanark County. We've had a huge amount of support from Arnprior and Renfrew, and as of today, we had people come forward in Carp. So it's really even expanding beyond the borders of Lanark County already, and we expect that when this new stream comes in, it's going to blow up even further.
Well, thank you for all of the work that you're doing, and we look forward to you being reunited with your mom and your siblings, Mary.
Thank you.